Everyone's telling you to get AWS certified, but here is what nobody mentions. Half of these certifications won't actually help you get hired, and some might even waste months of your time. I'm Sulaiman. I've worked in tech for more than a decade. I run my own consultancy, and through my academy, I've helped more than 700 IT professionals and career switchers break into cloud, including some who've gone on to land jobs at AWS. Now, I actually hold multiple AWS certifications myself, including the Solutions Architect Professional certification. In this video, I'm ranking every AWS certification from S tier to F tier based on 4 criteria. Number 1, career ROI. Will this actually help you land a job or get promoted? Number 2, market demand. Are companies actively looking for this? Number 3, difficulty versus payoff. Is the time investment worth it? And number 4, who it's actually for. Because a certification that's perfect for a beginner might be pointless for a senior engineer and vice versa. Now, in case you don't know, AWS certifications are categorized in 4 levels: foundational, associate, professional, and specialty. So let's start with the AWS Cloud Practitioner. This is the most foundational certification that AWS offers, and it teaches you the business side of cloud. For example, why companies actually migrate to AWS in the first place. You're being introduced to cloud computing and different terminologies like the shared responsibility model. Now, of all AWS certifications that we are going to cover, this is definitely the easiest to pass. And here is the bonus that most people don't realize. When you pass any AWS certification, you get a 50% discount voucher for your next exam. So this can become your entry point that makes everything else cheaper. Now, if you're already in IT and you're looking to pivot into cloud, you could skip this one, but it's still worth getting as it's an easy win. But for complete beginners with no tech background, this builds a foundation that everything else sits on, so don't skip it. And yeah, it's not going to get you hired on its own for beginners, but the ROI for your time is solid. Cloud Practitioner goes into B tier. AI Practitioner. The AWS AI Practitioner teaches you how to think about AI use cases, and it covers AI and machine learning services on AWS. SageMaker, Comprehend, Recognition, Bedrock, and companies are really scrambling to figure out AI right now. They have mountains of data sitting in the cloud, and they want to make predictions, recommendations, automations, but they just don't know how to get there. This certification is a great entry point to start learning how to integrate AI into cloud infrastructure. But remember, you're not building anything here. It's theoretical knowledge. For existing IT professionals and engineers who want to stay relevant, this is actually way more useful than you might think. Getting this certification early positions you ahead of everyone who's still ignoring the AI wave. Same logic as the Cloud Practitioner though, it's still a foundational certification, so it goes into B tier. Now, let's move on to the associate certification, starting with a brand new one, the AWS Developer Associate. This validates your ability to develop, test, deploy, and debug AWS applications. I do think this certification is a little bit too narrow in focus, and if you want to become a cloud engineer, then companies are looking for architecture thinking. They want someone who can design systems, make trade-offs, and understand the bigger picture. And if you're a software engineer, then this can be definitely a useful entry point to learn how to build on AWS, although you're way better off actually building projects. And if you're trying to break into cloud, then there's another certification that I will go over in just a moment that's way better served for you. Now, this certification speaks to a specific audience, software engineers and developers who want formal AWS validation, and for that, I'll put this into the D tier. By the way, if you're looking to get AWS certified in the most efficient way possible, then you need to hear this. You see, when I was studying for my AWS certifications, I found myself wasting so much time studying inefficiently. I had to watch courses on YouTube and then write my notes in a book or use a tool like Notion. I would then jump onto another platform to create flashcards. But that's not enough, because you then have to buy individual mock exams to make sure that you're exam ready. And I'd still have no idea if I was actually exam ready. I was constantly switching between 3, 4, 5, even 6 different tools to get certified. And despite this, my learning wasn't even personalized to me. If I already knew a topic, I kept seeing those questions in my mock exams and even in the learning material, which is why over the last 2 years, me and my engineering team have been building a brand new certification platform, StudyTech AI. Get AWS certified in weeks and not months. StudyTech AI is the only platform in the world that identifies what you already know and focuses your time exclusively on your knowledge gaps. The exact system that allowed me to get my AWS Solutions Architect Professional certification in just 3 weeks. And look at all of these people passing their exams as well. You can take notes, you can spin up flashcards in just one click, you can get unlimited mock exams without having to pay for each one individually. We've also added a daily learning loop, which means all you have to do is log in and our platform will set out exactly what you need to learn, which topics for what exact date in order to pass your certification. There is literally no more second guessing. You just show up, you learn, and you get certified. And if you want to get AWS certified without wasting months of your time, go check out StudyTech AI. There's a link in the description with a very special launch discount. Now let's move on to the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, the most popular AWS certification, and people dismiss it for that exact reason. If everyone has it, how does it help me stand out? Now, this certification starts to fundamentally change how you think about AWS. For this, you'd think in individual services. After this, you start thinking in complete systems. The exam presents realistic scenarios that you actually face as a cloud engineer. A startup needs to handle unpredictable traffic spikes during product launches without overspending. What's the optimal approach? This tests your ability to make trade-offs and design solutions that fit real business constraints. Now, for beginners, this is the certification that actually opens doors for you. It shows up in a big percentage of cloud engineering positions. It can get you past HR filters and speaking to recruiters. It's equally beneficial for existing IT pros, and it has the best ROI in terms of time and impact on your career. The Solutions Architect Associate goes into S tier. The Cloud Ops Engineer Associate certification focuses on deploying, managing, and operating workloads on AWS. This can help you unlock entry-level positions like Cloud Support Engineer, Migration Specialist, and Cloud Ops Engineer. But here is my concern. I spent years in operations, and here is what I learned. If you design systems the right way, this stuff should just run like clockwork. The goal of good operations is to make it itself invisible, and AWS knows this. They just announced their own DevOps agent built specifically to automate operational tasks and be on 24/7 callout. They keep releasing tools that handle deployments and monitoring and incident response with less and less human intervention. Do you see the pattern? AWS is actively building themselves out of needing as many operational people. For existing system admins looking to validate cloud skills and pivot quickly, it's a fine stepping stone. But for people choosing where to invest their time and energy, there are way better options that lead to roles with more longevity. The market is shifting away from pure operation roles towards architecture and specialization. Don't build your career on work that's being engineered away. Cloud Ops lands in F tier. The Machine Learning Engineer Associate tests your ability to build and deploy machine learning models in AWS. Data engineering for machine learning, model building with SageMaker, deployment, monitoring, and optimization. This one's quite unique because right now most people in tech do not understand machine learning. If you can demonstrate you have some theoretical knowledge, you will immediately stand out. Now, the learning curve is, however, steeper than any other associate level certifications, but that difficulty is part of what makes it so valuable. Not everyone can get this, which means those who can do carry more weight. For engineers who want to position themselves for the AI wave, this is a strong move. The barrier to entry is higher, but so is the payoff. The Machine Learning Associate goes into A tier. Next, the AWS Data Engineer Associate covers designing data models, managing data lifecycles, and ensuring data quality on AWS. Services like Glue, Redshift, Athena, and data pipeline architecture. Now, my take on this cert is a little bit controversial. Data engineering as a career path has serious risk in AI automation. A lot of what data engineers do, querying, transforming, aggregating, this is exactly what AI excels at, pattern recognition and automation. Yes, companies are drowning in data that they can't make sense of right now. That's very true. But here's where it gets interesting. If you want to move into machine learning, data engineering is a natural step. You can't build machine learning models without clean, well-structured data pipelines feeding them. So if your long-term goal is to ride the AI wave and get into machine learning, then this cert can be a legitimate stepping stone. Now, if you are in a data role and want to formalize your AWS knowledge while positioning for machine learning, this path makes sense. But if you're starting from scratch with no specific interest in the data to machine learning pipeline, I'll still point you towards the Solutions Architect Associate first. Data Engineer Associate goes into C tier. Now we're on to the professional certifications, starting with the DevOps Engineer Professional. AWS DevOps Engineer. This certification covers CI/CD pipelines, automation, monitoring, and infrastructure as code. Again, like the rest of the certifications, it is a theoretical knowledge regardless, and this might be controversial, but entry-level DevOps roles are disappearing. Companies want senior engineers with at least 4 to 5 years of experience minimum. The work itself is evolving. Like I said, AWS released their own 24/7 DevOps engineer. That's an AI agent that just does things for you. And pure DevOps is fragmenting into platform engineering, SRE, and cloud operations. If you're already in this space and you want to formalize your knowledge while positioning yourself for senior roles, then this certification carries a lot of weight. For beginners trying to break in or those already in IT and not cloud-specific roles, I wouldn't really focus on this, and that's why I'm ranking this in B tier. Okay, next up, we've got the Generative AI Developer. It's focused on building production-level Gen AI applications using services like Amazon Bedrock. This is a new territory, and the market is still figuring out what Gen AI roles actually look like and what companies actually need. The uncertainty is both the risk and the opportunity. If you've got this certification now, then you're positioning yourself early in a space that's absolutely exploding. Every company wants to figure out Gen AI. Most of them have no idea how to actually implement it. The bet here is that Gen AI becomes fundamental to how software is built. And based on everything that I'm seeing in the market right now, that bet looks solid. Now, despite the hype around Gen AI, it still needs some stability and certainty around those roles. And so that keeps it out of S tier. But the potential upside is massive, so it goes into A tier. The Solutions Architect Professional is a certification that I hold and is one of the most valuable certifications certifications in the AWS ecosystem. Only a tiny percentage of people with AWS certifications have this one. The exam tests your ability to handle real enterprise complexity, hybrid architectures, migration strategies, advanced networking, and disaster recovery. You'll get scenarios like a financial service company wants to migrate their entire data center to AWS with strict compliance requirements and zero downtime. Design the migration strategy. And there's no simple answer. There's no tutorial for this. You need genuine depth across the entire AWS platform and the ability to connect cloud technology to business requirements. And now for engineers who want to level up in senior and architecture roles, this can certainly help you get your foot in the door. For beginners, you need to build up to this. Get the Cloud Practitioner and the Solutions Architect Associate first. Get some real experience. Then come back for this one. The Solutions Architect Professional certification goes into S tier. Alrighty, time for the specialties. I'm starting with the AWS Advanced Networking specialty. This one covers complex networking scenarios, hybrid connectivity, VPCs, direct connect, transit gateway. And I know it sounds like buzzwords if you're new to this, but the reality is networking is a massive part of cloud engineering that most people underestimate. The engineers who really understand networking at this level are very rare, and rare skills command premium salaries. When companies are doing complex migrations or they're building out serious infrastructure, they need people who can handle the networking piece without breaking everything, so this certification introduces you to that world. And if you're just starting out, obviously this isn't your first move, and I wouldn't even consider this as it's far too complex for you. But for engineers who are already in cloud or similar roles, networking is completely underrated. The depth required is significant, but the market rewards it. The advanced networking specialty goes into A tier. The next two certifications I'm going to combine because they share the same story. The AWS security specialty and the AWS machine learning specialty are both certifications with insane demand, and very few people actually hold them. The security specialty covers identity and access management, data protection, encryption, incident response, and compliance frameworks. Cloud security has been ranked as the #1 most in-demand skill among cybersecurity professionals. The demand is insane. The supply is limited, and AI isn't replacing this anytime soon because security requires human judgment and constant adaptation to new threats. Machine learning specialty is the deep dive into building, training, and deploying machine learning models on AWS. Companies understand AI's potential, but most don't actually know how to implement it, and they need engineers who can take AI from a concept to production. Machine learning engineers are commanding some of the highest salaries in tech right now. And here's the thing with both of these. They are really hard. You need deep specialized knowledge on top of your core AWS understanding. And that's exactly why they are so valuable. But you don't need these certifications to land a job. Don't let them delay you from applying for roles. Get your AWS Solutions Architect Associate, even the professional certification, and get your foot in the door. And then work towards these specialty ones once you're actually in a role and want to specialize. So security specialty and machine learning specialty both go into S tier. So the final tier list, S tier, Solutions Architect Associate and Professional Certification, Security Specialty and Machine Learning Specialty. A tier, Generative AI Developer Professional, Advanced Networking Specialty, Machine Learning Associate. B tier, Cloud Practitioner, AI Practitioner, DevOps Engineer Professional. C tier, Data Engineer Associate. D tier, Developer Associate. F tier, Cloud Ops. And if you want to pass any of these AWS certifications faster without wasting months and constantly second guessing yourself, then check out StudyTech AI. Now, what's the strategy here then? Because that's all of the AWS certifications. What should you actually do next? Now, if you're a complete beginner with no tech background, or you're an existing IT professional like a sysadmin, network engineer, or cybersecurity professional, you want to start with the Cloud Practitioner to build your foundation. Then you want to go straight to the Solutions Architect Associate, followed by the Pro certification. I think this is the best path for most people, even existing IT professionals and engineers. If you're already in cloud and want to level up, then you just move into the Solutions Architect Professional or the Security Specialty. Now, if you want to ride the AI wave, which everyone should, then you can layer in the AI-focused certifications. Now, here is a truth that nobody wants to hear. Certifications will help you get past HR filters. They'll get hiring managers to call you back, but when it comes to the interviews and actually getting hired, you need to prove that you can do the work. That means becoming someone who can design and build solutions that actually work. And the only way that you develop that ability is through hands-on projects. Building things on AWS, breaking stuff, fixing it, understanding why things work, not just memorizing what they do. The certifications open doors, the projects get you through them. Pick your certification strategically based on where you are and where you want to go.